They delivered once again. They really are the thrill of the tournament so far.
Good morning and welcome to our latest episode of Golf News Kicking Back. I'm Imran and with me are my guests Matt and Shamsir. All right, let's get stuck into the action from last night. There were 4 games. There's only one place to start, Germany against Hungary. Now, we all said yesterday that this is going to be a really tough game for Germany, and it absolutely was. With just 6 minutes left, they were on the brink of an embarrassing early exit from Euro 2020. Hungary had a 2-1 lead at the time, but then Goretzka came back to pull the game back to 2-2, and that's how it finished. And it gave Germany second in Group F. They've made it to the last 16, but Hungary were really impressive again last night, weren't they?
Yeah, well, I talked yesterday about how they might struggle without that 12th man playing away from home. But yeah, no, they delivered once again. They really are the thrill of the tournament so far. Well, there's always one of these teams, whether it's a Cameroon or whatever, that you remember from years later that lit up the tournament and gave it their all. So gave the big boys a shock, and that was definitely Hungary's mantle this time around. They've thrilled. They've shown no fear. They're not daunted. It doesn't matter. In that group, they must have, when they saw that draw, they must have thought, "Oh my goodness, France, Germany, and Portugal. What are we going to do?" But they more than held their own. Got a draw against France. Got a draw against Germany, and we're 10 minutes away from an upset against Portugal as well. It's not like they had one great game; they had 3 great games, and there's a lot of Hungarian boys have put themselves in the shopping window this summer now. And there'll be a lot more unpronounceable names in the big leagues of Europe next season. Yeah, no, you can't praise them enough. Just you've got to love the plucky underdog story, and yeah, they go home. They got their heads held high, as they say, and lots of other cliches as well. But yeah, they've just they're a joy to watch, and it's a shame that somebody had to go out of that group and it had to be them.
Yeah, but we never expected this group to be, so tight. Like, yeah, we told that it's going to be the group of death, but we all thought Hungary will be battered by all 3 big boys. But that was far from the case, Hungary came into the tournament without their superstar in Szoboszlai, and we thought that they won't have enough in their belt to give a fight to these big boys. But man, they have been absolutely brilliant. Like what Matty mentioned, they were ahead in many of the games. They were ahead than they were trailing. So that itself is an incredible achievement. They almost secured a win against Germany. They almost secured a win against France. They could have drawn against Portugal if not for that, deflected goal. Hungary has been absolutely brilliant. And the Group F, the group of death, served to its billing that it's a group of death by having those topsy-turvy moments. Everyone was, very interested in watching to that game because every other minute, one team was going up and the other team was going down. It was absolutely incredible. Even manager Gareth Southgate for England, he was watching, which team am I going to play now? Because it at one time it was like Hungary, another time it was Portugal. Eventually it ended up as Germany. What a game that is going to be.
That's going to be a tough one. I mean, we always get drawn against them. It's going to be an early one in the last 16 there. But make a good point about Hungary. Took the lead against France, you're right, and against Germany yesterday. That goal from Zyla yesterday, what a good header that was yesterday.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was a proper power header.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some great goals in the tournament so far. We don't often talk about headers being inside the top 2 or 3, but I mean that's one of the best goals of the tournament so far.
That is one of the best goals. You know what? This guy, Adam Salai, has scored only 1 goal in the Bundesliga last season, and he topped up with that wonderful header in the Euro Championship. Some players, they just turn up for their nations. It was incredible.
There's got to be a special bit of a goals of the tournament. There's going to have to be an own goals of the tournament as well. There's been so many, and there's so many crazy talking points.
There's been 8 so far, Matt. We've had 8 own goals already so far. That's unbelievable. I mean, who would have thought? All right, let's move on. Before we do, I think all agree to say we're quite sad to see Hungary go. they were really good in the tournament, and we hope to see him next time, maybe the World Cup. All right, but let's move on to France against Portugal, where Ronaldo equaled the all-time goal-scoring record, scoring twice in that 2-2 draw yesterday. He's now got 109 goals. That's the same as Ali Day had for Iran. And on the form he's in, and with Portugal now progressing, he's going to break that record, surely, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, who'd have thought Bruno Fernandes would be in a team like this, and they'd get all these penalties, and he wouldn't be taking them. You know, he's the Man United penalty specialist. But I think that obviously with Ronaldo going after that record, him being the captain and him being Ronaldo, there's no doubt as to who was taking those penalties. And they've had so many. You know, I think he's scored 3 from the spot now.
Yeah.
And you know, that's a normal day for Fernandes or Manchester United. Again, a thrilling-minute match. France probably get more questions than they've had answers after this group stage, because they came in as solid favourites, world champions, but again, they were not at their convincing best yesterday. Portugal are glad to get that Germany game out of their system and get a good result against France. But I know, again, great entertaining game for the neutral, but not the greatest of confidence boosters for France going into the last 16.
No, not at all. You mentioned the penalty there. That was Portugal's penalty. I mean, Lloris is punching the ball. He catches Danilo on the head. I mean, I don't know. I think the ref got that wrong. Shamsir, what do you think? Penalty? No penalty?
Absolutely, man. Both of them are now penalties. You know, absolutely dubious calls. Oh my goodness. You know, how can you give those penalties, man? If you keep giving those penalties, there will be like 10 or 15 penalties in a game in a Premier League. Absolutely ridiculous. I didn't expect that to happen in a UEFA competition. I can see that happening in the Premier League because I've seen how you know, horrendous the referees are there. But I expected better from the UEFA. At least they're using the VAR better so far in the tournament. But these two dubious calls, you know, I have no words to say about this. And then even the third penalty was handball, man. I don't know. I don't understand these handball rules anymore. You know, I like what we have mentioned previously in the previews and reviews everywhere. Like you can't jump now. You have to keep your hands somewhere tight and you have to jump. It's absolutely ridiculous. But coming to the point, you know, the game was absolutely entertaining. You know, we were like switching with both the games, and it was like what Imran mentioned yesterday with the remote and the thumbs. You know, was incredible, man. But for France, like what Matty mentioned, they weren't convincing at all. But they have a major problem in their fullback role. You know, now Lucas Hernandez was injured. Now the guy who came in to fill in for him was Luca Digne. He also got injured. And on the right hand side, Pavard is injured, and they had to play a centre back in the right back role. So that is a major concern for France. But topping that group means they have got a easy run in the next round. At least on the paper, you know, against Switzerland, they should beat them. They weren't convincing, but you know, certain Paul Pogba was again absolutely brilliant in that midfield. You know, he was spraying passes left, right, and center. He was, you know, slinging in crosses behind Portugal defense. Man, I don't understand how he plays so well for France. And the through ball to Benzema was absolutely delightful to watch. What a player, man. And
that's the point. I mean, why does he do that? I mean, we know for France, he's superb. For Juventus, he was really good. For Man United, he's just not there. I mean, what could be the problem there? He's got good players around at Man United as well. It can't just be the players, but there's something clearly not right with Pogba at United.
Yeah, I think we need Sahil here for this one, being the Man United fan. But he'll get his say when he joins us in a few days' time. The Pogba enigma is just a weird one because, like I say, we do know that he thrives when he's got better players around him. He's no Steven Gerrard who can carry a team or lift a team. He needs that quality around him, and he obviously has that in guys like Kante there for France. But there is a definite gulf in class between Man United and there. But I think that there's the other factor of he's not happy there. There's something wrong. He wants to be winning trophies. He knows he's not winning trophies at Man United, and he does not regard the Europa League as a trophy. I don't think. You know, he does not even want to be in that. Doesn't even want to be in that competition. And obviously a bit disillusioned at the when he joined Man United. He thought they were going to be going back to the top of the game, competing across Europe and in the Premier League. They've only just got back to being the second best team, and that's clearly not good enough for somebody of his expectations. You know, it would be the same if it was Ronaldo. He would be strutting around that midfield in a grump if he was at Man United as well, because he you know, I wouldn't say they're glory hunters, but they want to get the silverware. That's why Harry Kane's wanting to leave Tottenham as well. You know, the silverware is not there to go with what they regard their own talent, and obviously it reflects the Pogba on the field there. We're getting slightly off topic because we're going to talk a bit about the Premier League rather than the Euros, but yeah, it's I think it's doubly frustrating for Man United fans when they see what he can do for France.
Yeah, quick word on Benzema, back after 6 years on the international stage, and he got 2 goals yesterday. That'll do his confidence a world of good, won't it, going forward?
The key thing there was I think that they intentionally gave him that penalty to take so that he could get that goal under his belt, get his eye in, and then it proved because he went on to get the second goal as well. I think that was a very clever decision by France to do that. They know Mbappe will score goals. They know the guys will score goals, but Benzema had to get that monkey off his back, and that was a very clever one going into the last 16. Now that they have all these attacking options.
Yeah, I believe that gives another option for Didier Deschamps now. Like he picked Benzema in all 3 games, and he wanted him to perform. Now he has performed now finally. So that could give a boost for France in the knockout stages. Yeah, which is good for them.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to Sweden against Poland. Sweden went 2-0 up with a couple of lovely goals from Forsberg before Poland came storming back with 2 goals from you know who, Lewandowski. But then, as they were chasing a 3rd goal to send them through into the last 16, they were caught on the break, and Sweden won the match 3-2, meaning Poland are out. But are we really surprised that Poland are out? I mean, like we were saying all before, they do rely on one man. If he doesn't perform, they're not going to go very far. All right, he got 2 yesterday. Could have had a hat-trick, actually. He missed that chance in that first half. He hit the underside of the bar, and then his rebound from 2 yards out hit the bar again. Are we disappointed with Poland, or is it what we expected?
Well, to me, I think it's what we expected. I'm actually very impressed with Sweden, more so than disappointed in Poland, because like you say, the Poles without Lewandowski are not very much to look at, and he's going to be a miss because that's probably his last major tournament. So he'll be. Although if he's still got 2 legs in the World Cup, if it comes around, they'll play him. He's that's how much they rely on him, and I think that illustrates really what the problem is there, because he could have a Zimmer frame and he'll still be getting a start up front. But as I said, the Sweden team to me were more impressive in this tournament. We didn't really talk about them beforehand because make up the numbers type thing. But yeah, no, they've really impressed me, and I think that they might have another upset on the cards if they can raise the game to that level and show that never say die attitude as they did towards the end there. They weren't settling for a draw, then they went out and they got the win.
Yeah, Poland came into the tournament with so many injury concerns, especially up top, like Piatek and Milik were missing. They are like huge misses for this Polish team, because that they could have helped Lewandowski in scoring goals for them. But now it is fully reliant on Lewandowski, and he couldn't do a lot worse. He missed
3 in the end.
Yeah. He missed a sitter in the first half, but then, like what we have always mentioned about these world-class players, they come, those kind of misses will actually galvanize them, and that guy, the first goal that he scored was an absolute beauty, man, with his right foot. What a goal that was. Then he was dragging them into the round of 16. He was trying to drag them, but Sweden were good enough. Like what Matty mentioned, Sweden, an absolute surprise package. They're playing so brilliantly. And that when you look at the right hand side of the Euro fixtures, they can still progress, I think, even for Sweden. So it's gonna be a great watch.
Yeah, they've got Ukraine in the last 16. Ukraine have been a bit hit and miss as well. We'll do some predictions right at the end. Let's just wrap up the final game, and that was Spain. Spain thrashing Slovakia 5-0, but they were given a huge helping hand, literally. Goalkeeper Martin Dubravka, he messed
My
up big
favourite
time.
moment.
It looked like he was playing volleyball. It looked like it reminded me of Pickford's mistake against Liverpool for Everton. I mean, when he jumped up. It was terrible. I mean, and after that mistake, you could see he lost all confidence. He was to blame for the second goal. He actually started pretty well. He saved the penalty for Morata. It wasn't a great penalty, but that mistake, let's talk about that. We can't not talk about that.
So my favourite moment of the tournament so far. I love a good bit of comedy. Like I said, I was actually looking at Dubravka before, and I was like, this guy's really good. If he, he made 2 great saves. He then saved the penalty because Spain, came out with that point to prove after getting a lot of criticism about not being able to go forward. I think they answered that one fairly well. But Dubravka was, it was like, oof, he could get a nice, if he keeps this up, he could get himself a nice move away from Newcastle to a bigger team here. And then, kiss of death, commentator's curse. He decided to have a Alisson Becker moment against the Man City. He just had this 5-minute period where he just decided to become a Spain player, and I was just unbelievable. I was just looking at he could have done 10 other things to stop that ball going in the net. He could have just stood back and let it bounce. It wasn't going over the line. He could have just stood.
Matthew, he could have just stood back and gave it to Morata. He would have missed it anyway.
Morata got the assist. He could have just turned his body around so he was facing the right way. Would have helped him. A number of things he could have done. He could have headed it away. He could have done anything. Just not scoop it into your own net like that. I mean, he actually changed the direction the ball was going in to make it go in. So just one of those poor moments, and he'll never live that down. Now that's he'll be on the Newcastle bench instead of getting a move up now. He's and then as Imran said, that the confidence just really shattered at that, and Spain made hay. So it was like I said. Good confidence booster for Spain after 2 shonky second.
It's a morale booster win for Spain, but like what you've said, Dubravka, man, he's a decent keeper for Newcastle. He has done even in the tournament, he has been brilliant so far. But then that moment defies his future now. Like he's going to be a meme forever in Twitter and all the social medias. That's an absolutely ridiculous goal to concede, and it's going to haunt him forever, 100%. But
the thing we're just going to say, sorry, the thing that it reminds me is of when you think of these goalkeeper howlers, obviously Imran mentioned the Pickford one, but the one that sticks out for me is Rob Green. He's still trying to live that one down against the States, and that was a long time ago, and he's crawling back trying to get the ball, and this is going to be one of those moments for the rest of his career.
Yeah, this is going to live there in the social media forever, man. It's going to be a meme. And but Spain, they after that thing, Slovaks looked absolutely jaded, and they didn't look like a team after that. So this guy became hero to villain in no time, and then the Slovaks were an absolute shambles, and Spain utilized that, and then they got a morale boosting win. Good for Spain, but I still don't fancy them to progress because they are an absolutely terrible team.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Don't mention your words.
I mean, they've been disappointing. I mean, they got the luck they needed for that first goal. I mean, Dubravka was to blame for the second one as well. It's a lovely header from Laporte, by the way, to head it back across where it came from. And Torres scored a goal with his first touch when he came on. Overall, I mean, Spain showed that they can play. They can do it, but they've got Croatia in the last 16 now. That'll be a tough one. All right, talking about the last 16 now, let's quickly go through the 8 fixtures. Just tell me who you think is going to win, otherwise we're going to be here all day. Saturday, we start with Wales against Denmark. I'm going to go Wales.
Denmark.
Italy, Austria. I'm going Italy.
Italy, hands down.
Yeah, and then on Sunday, we've got Netherlands and Czech Republic. I'm going to go Netherlands.
think Netherlands just, but might take extra time with penalties.
I'm going for Czech Republic. Piatek to score. Patrick Schick to score.
Yeah, he's proven he can. And then Belgium against Portugal, that's going to be a really good game. I think Ronaldo will score. He'll break the record, but I think Belgium's going to win.
Ooh, yeah, maybe 2-1. Early penalty, and then Belgium will just we'll claw it back. Definite Ronaldo penalty. Oh, hang on, Ronaldo penalty, but he misses it, and they go out. There you go.
Oh my God!
Imagine.
There's going to be a penalty for sure because the Belgium defense, we know they are shaky a bit, but I think Belgium will go through.
Belgium, yeah. All right, Monday, Croatia and Spain. We just talked about Spain. It's going to be a hard one. Croatia haven't been that good. I think Spain on penalties.
Okay, that's a tough one. As I said, it depends which Croatia turns up. The Jekyll and Hyde team of this tournament. Yeah, I'll go with the form team. I'll go with Croatia to form team. Spain just won 5-0, but you know what I mean. They seem to have a little bit more, so I'll go with Croatia.
Yeah, I'm going with Croatia too because Spain, I don't fancy them.
What was it you said? Absolutely rubbish.
What about France and Switzerland? I think that's shot on paper, straightforward. It's got to be France, but they haven't been that good so far. But still, it should be enough to get through. Yeah,
I think France will move up a gear again, and maybe they've got those little early jitters out the way. Benzema's got his goals, so I think that they'll start cranking through the gears now as we go towards the business end.
They need a full back, but still, I think they'll win that game comfortably.
Yeah, and then Tuesday, England against Germany. Oof, this is going to go, I think, all the way. I think penalties. And I hope England just about going to go England, but it's not going to be easy at all.
Last minute winner, Harry Kane.
Oh my God. Germany are very, very beatable squad. They are, but they relishes these challenges. I don't think they'll buckle down against England. I think they're going to win. Germany.
You think Germany?
Yeah.
And then the last one, Sweden and Ukraine. If Yarmolenko, Yaremchuk, and those guys play well, but Sweden look really good with Isaac. I'm going to go Sweden.
No such thing as a draw now. So that one, if that was a group game, I'd draw written all over it. Penalty Sweden.
I'm a biased man. I want Andrei Shevchenko's Ukraine to progress. Ukraine.
All right. Well, it's getting really exciting now. We're going to have to see some big performances from some of the teams that are through but haven't really got going yet. That's it from us for today. Log on to golfnews.com for all the latest news, and we'll see you next time.